What if I told you that your financial success has very little to do with the job you work, the hours you grind, or even how smart you are? What if the real reason you're stuck is buried deep inside your mind? Most people don't know this, but by the time you're 7 years old, your financial future is already programmed. Not by you, but by your environment, your parents, your culture, your past experience. And until you uncover that programming, no matter how hard you work, you'll always hit the same invisible ceiling. This is not just theory, it's fact. And today, we're pulling back the curtain on what I call your money blueprint, the hidden set of beliefs that controls how much money you allow yourself to earn, keep, and grow. This blueprint controls everything. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract money like a magnet? It just flows to them through opportunities, connections, or sudden windfalls, while others, maybe even you, struggle for every dollar only to lose it just as fast. That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's your blueprint at work. In this video, I'm going to reveal the secrets that separate the wealthy from the rest. Not just surface level tips, but the deep inner game, the mindset, the habits, the patterns, and the surprising truths that most people never hear. You'll learn why 80% of lottery winners go broke within 5 years and how it ties directly to their internal programming. The 17 powerful wealth files that rich people live by and poor people avoid. A simple system that will completely change how you handle money starting today. And a shocking fact about what really stops people from becoming wealthy, it's not what you think. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you won't just understand wealth, you'll feel a shift inside you, a change in your energy, a change in your identity. And once you change on the inside, your outside world has no choice but to follow. Now, before we dive deep, I want you to pause and really think, who taught you how to handle money? Who told you what was possible for your life? Did they have the results you want? If the answer is no, then maybe, just maybe, it's time to question everything you've been told. Maybe it's time to reprogram your mind and finally step into the abundance you deserve. I've worked with thousands of people around the world, from struggling employees to multimillionaires, and I can tell you this, wealth starts in the mind, not in the wallet. And once you understand that, once you learn how to train your mind for wealth, you can achieve financial freedom faster than you ever thought possible. In fact, most people don't even know that their minds are sabotaging their financial success every single day. They set goals, but their beliefs contradict those goals. They want to be rich, but they think money is evil. They dream of success, but deep down they don't believe they're worthy of it. That's why they stay stuck. But not you, not anymore. Because you're about to learn the secrets most people will never hear, the kind of insights that can flip your life upside down in the best way possible. We're going to talk about how your subconscious mind is like a thermostat. If your money blueprint is set to 60 degrees, it doesn't matter how much heat you add from outside, you'll always find a way to cool things back down. That's why some people earn big but can't hold on to it. They sabotage themselves without even knowing it. But here's the beautiful part, that blueprint can be changed. Just like a thermostat, you can reset your internal setting. You can raise your wealth temperature. And when you do, everything starts to shift. You start making better decisions. You stop procrastinating. You attract better opportunities. And yes, money flows. And I'm not just speaking as a teacher. I live this. There was a time when I was broke, deep in debt. My business had failed. I was filled with self-doubt. But when I discovered this hidden blueprint, when I began rewiring my beliefs, my habits, and my identity, everything changed. Within 2.5 years, I went from broke to millionaire. It wasn't magic. It wasn't luck. It was alignment between my thoughts, my beliefs, my actions, and my financial goals. And that's exactly what I want for you. So if you've ever felt like you were meant for more, if you've ever felt like something inside you is holding you back, if you've ever looked around and wondered, why not me? This video is your answer. Because the truth is, you were never meant to struggle. You were born to live in abundance. You were designed for greatness. But that greatness needs to be unlocked. And it starts with your mind. So buckle up, take notes, stay with me till the very end, because we're going deep into the secrets of the millionaire mind, and what you learn today could change the rest of your life. Welcome to Harv Eker Motivation, your space to rewire your thinking, awaken your potential, and transform your financial destiny. If this message resonates with you, if you're ready to step into the life you were meant to live, hit that subscribe button and join this powerful community of growth-minded achievers. This is not just another video, this is your turning point. Let's begin. Before we talk about building wealth, managing money, or creating financial freedom, we need to start with the truth. The real truth, the one most people don't even know exists. And that truth is this: your financial life today is a reflection of your inner programming. Yes, I said programming. Just like a computer runs on the code, you run on beliefs. Beliefs about money, about success, about your worth. And here's the kicker. Most of those beliefs were not chosen by you. They were given to you, passed down, imprinted, absorbed. From the moment you were born, you began receiving messages, spoken and unspoken, about what money is, what it means, and who gets to have it. Think back to your childhood. What did you hear about money growing up? Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. We can't afford that. I said every penny, money is the root of all evil. These aren't just phrases. These are scripts written into your subconscious mind, and whether you realize it or not, they've been running your financial life ever since. Some people were programmed for success. Maybe their parents were wealthy, or they had mentors who taught them how to think rich. For most people, the programming was based on fear, scarcity, and limitation. And that becomes your blueprint, your internal map of how money works, your personal thermostat for wealth. Let me explain what I mean. Imagine your money blueprint is set at 50 degrees. That's your comfort zone. That's what feels normal. So even if you get a raise or land a new client or come into sudden wealth, you'll find a way consciously or unconsciously to bring things back down to 50. You'll overspend, you'll invest poorly, you'll procrastinate, you'll sabotage. Not because you're lazy, not because you're not smart, but because your mind is trying to return to what it knows. The thermostat doesn't care if you like it. It just keeps you where you've always been. And that's the problem. Most people try to change their outer world without changing their inner world. They work harder, hustle more, try new strategies. But if the blueprint stays the same, the results stay the same. That's why so many people keep repeating the same financial cycles. They pay off debt only to fall back into it. They save money only to spend it in a moment of emotional weakness. They make progress and find a way to lose it all. It's not bad luck. It's not bad timing. It's programming. But here's the good news. You can change your programming. You can identify the beliefs that are holding you back. You can uproot them, replace them, rewire your mind to support your goals instead of sabotage them. But first, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to dig deep and ask, what are my core beliefs about money? Do I see money as something good or something dirty? Do I feel guilty when I earn more than others? Do I believe I deserve to be rich? Do I truly believe I can become financially free? You see, every action you take around money, how you earn it, how you spend it, how you manage it, comes from these hidden beliefs. Let me give you an example. If you grew up in a household where money was always tight, you probably developed a belief that money is hard to get, that you have to struggle for it, that there's never enough. And so even today, you might undercharge for your services. You might be afraid to invest. You might hoard your savings out of fear. On the flip side, if you were taught that rich people are evil, you might find yourself avoiding wealth altogether without even knowing why. You'll feel a deep inner conflict every time you start to succeed. Why? Because your subconscious mind is saying, if I become rich, I'll become one of them. I'll lose love. I'll lose respect. I'll become someone I don't want to be. So you stay small, you stay broke, you stay safe. That's the power of the blueprint. But you're not stuck. You're not doomed to repeat your past. You have the power to change your financial future by changing the blueprint that drives it. How? Step one is awareness. You can't change what you don't understand. So start paying attention. Watch how you react when you receive money. Notice what thoughts come up when you think about wealth. Journal about your earliest memories of money. Who was talking? What were they saying? How did it make you feel? This is where the real transformation begins. Step two is choice. Once you uncover those limiting beliefs, you get to decide whether to keep them or let them go. For example, if you were taught that money is the root of all evil, ask yourself, is that really true? Or is that just something I heard repeated and believed? What if the truth is money is a tool? It amplifies who I already am. If I'm kind, money will help me spread kindness. If I'm generous, money will help me give more. If I'm driven, money will help me make a bigger impact. You see, beliefs are not facts, they're just repeated thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. Step 3 is action. Once you've shifted the beliefs, now you back it up with new behaviors. You take bold steps, you invest in yourself, you speak differently about money, you treat your finances with care and respect, because now your actions are aligned with a new identity. The identity of someone who values money, who attracts money, who multiplies money. You're no longer controlled by the past. You're creating your future on purpose. Let me say something very clearly. You were not born to struggle. You were not born to live in scarcity. You were born with the power to create, to grow, to thrive. But first, you have to break free from the chains of your old programming. And it all starts with your money blueprint. So before we go any further, ask yourself right now, what beliefs about money have I been carrying that no longer serve me? And am I willing to let them go so I can step into the wealth I was always meant to have? Let's get one thing straight right now. If you want to be rich, truly, deeply, abundantly rich, you must take full and complete responsibility for your financial life. No excuses, no blaming, no waiting for someone to rescue you. This is the starting point, the foundation. Because here's the brutal truth, you can't change what you don't own. And as long as you're pointing fingers at the economy, at your job, at your upbringing, at your partner, you're giving away your power. You're telling the universe, I'm not in control. Someone else decides my future. And guess what? If someone else is in charge of your life, you're always going to stay stuck. Now, let's talk about the two mindsets that run the show, the victim and the creator. The victim says, I can't get ahead because of taxes, because of my boss, because of inflation, because my parents didn't teach me, because the system is rigged. The creator says, I'm where I am because of the choices I made, and I can choose differently. Which one sounds more powerful? Which one sounds like the mindset of someone who becomes a millionaire? You see, when I was broke, flat broke, I blamed everything. I blamed the economy. I blamed my past. I blamed my bad luck. But none of that changed a thing. Only when I finally stood in front of the mirror and said, this is my life, and if it's going to change, I have to change, did everything start to shift. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you caused every problem, but it does mean you are responsible. You are able to respond. You are able to rise. Now here's the irony. The very moment you stop playing the victim, you start winning. Because you reclaim your power. You take the wheel. You stop waiting and start creating. That's what the rich do. They don't waste time complaining. They don't sit around hoping for luck. They don't wait for the government or their family or their boss to save them. They say, I'm in charge, period. And you can do the same right now, today. Because here's the truth. Every result in your life, good or bad, is a result of your inner world, your mindset, your habits, your decision. And if you want different results, you must become a different person. That's what the 17 wealth files are all about. These are not just random ideas. They are the core distinctions, the mental software that separates the rich from the poor. And once you learn them and live them, you start to shift on a deep level. This I'm going to give you a few. Wealth filed 1, rich people believe I create my life. Poor people believe life happens to me. Sound familiar? That's exactly what we just talked about. Taking ownership, becoming the cause, not the effect. Wealth filed 2, rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play the money game not to lose. What does that mean? It means poor people are always focused on survival, just getting by, just scraping enough to pay the bills. But the rich, they play to win. They play for freedom, for abundance, for impact. Wealth filed 3, rich people focus on opportunities. Poor people focus on obstacles. This one's big. See, both rich and poor people face problems. But where the poor see a wall, the rich see a doorway. Same situation, different mindset. Poor people say, what if it doesn't work? Rich people say, what if it does? That's the shift. That's the power. Wealth files 4. Rich people admire other rich and successful people. Poor people resent them. If someone drives by in a luxury car, do you admire them or do you feel a twinge of jealousy? That reaction says everything. If you hate what you want, you'll never attract it. If you resent the rich, your subconscious will make sure you never become one of them. Because deep down, you don't want to be hated. You don't want to be resented. You want to be accepted, loved, and safe. But here's the truth. Rich people didn't take your money. They created their own, and you can too. It's not a limited pie. Wealth is infinite when it flows from value, creativity, and service. Now let's take it even deeper. Wealth files on 5. Rich people think big, poor people think small. This is where your entire life can pivot. Because how you think determines what you do. If you think small, you play small, you take small risks, you set small goals, you expect small results. And guess what? You get them. But when you think big, when you imagine a life of impact, of contribution, of wealth, of freedom, your energy changes. You become bold, you become driven, you become magnetic. Opportunities start to appear, not because the world changed, but because you changed. Let me tell you something I learned the hard way. It takes no more effort to dream big than it does to dream small. But the payoff, it's infinitely bigger. And when you think big, something beautiful happens. You stop focusing only on yourself and you start asking, how can I serve more people? How can I create more value? How can I make a bigger difference? And that is the pathway to massive wealth. Because the more people you help, the more money you make, the more value you create, the more abundance you attract. It's not just about getting rich. It's about becoming the kind of person who can handle wealth, who can multiply wealth, who can use wealth for good. And all of that begins with one decision: to take full responsibility for your life, to stop blaming and start creating, to think big, act bold, and rise above your circumstances. Because the truth is, you're not limited by your past. You're not defined by your current situation. You are powerful. You are capable. You are worthy. But none of that matters unless you own it. Unless you step up and say, no more excuses. This is my life. I will shape it. I will change it. I will live it fully. That is the first step to wealth. And once you take it, the rest starts to unfold. Let me ask you something. If you can't manage what you already have, what makes you think you'll manage more? Most people say, once I make more money, then I'll start managing it. But that's backwards. Money doesn't change your habits. It magnifies them. If you're careless with a little, you'll be careless with a lot. If you're disciplined with a little, you'll be disciplined with a lot. That's why money management is not optional. It's essential. And one of the most powerful systems I've ever taught, something that changed thousands of lives around the world, is the 6 jars system. It's simple, it's practical, and it works. Let me break it down for you. Every time you earn money, whether it's $10,000, you divide it into 6 jars or 6 accounts. Each one has a specific purpose. Each one teaches your brain to handle money in a way that supports long-term wealth. Jar 1, necessities, 50. This is for your basic living expenses: rent, food, utilities, transportation, the essentials. Notice I said 50%, not 90%, not 100%, and definitely not 110%. If your lifestyle costs more than half of what you earn, that's a red flag. It means you're overextended. It means you're trying to look rich instead of be rich. Wealthy people live below their means, not above them. They control their spending so they can control their future. Jar 2, financial freedom account. This is your golden goose. You never touch this money. You don't spend it. You invest it. This account is designed to grow, to generate passive income, to set you free. Use it to buy stocks, real estate, businesses, anything that creates cash flow. Over time, this jar becomes the engine of your financial independence. I don't care if it's $1 a day, start putting something in here. And jar 3, education. Wealthy people never stop learning, period. They invest in books, courses, seminars, coaches, anything that helps them grow. Because the more you learn, the more you earn. If this jar is your commitment to becoming better, smarter, sharper, whether it's learning, sales, marketing, investing, or leadership, it all pays off. Your income will never outgrow your mindset, so expand it. Jar 4, long-term savings for spending. This is your big ticket jar. Use it for things you need in the future, like a car, a vacation, a home renovation. Why? Because if you don't plan ahead, you end up borrowing, using credit cards, drowning in debt. This jar helps you prepare. It keeps you out of financial traps. It teaches patience. You save first. You spend later. Simple, right?
Jar 5, play 10%.
This one surprises a lot of people. But yes, I want you to spend money on fun, on pleasure, on joy. Go to a spa, have a fancy dinner, buy something you love. Why? Because wealth isn't just about discipline, it's about reward. This jar reminds your mind that money is not just for surviving, it's also for thriving. And when you give yourself guilt-free enjoyment, you stay motivated to earn more, to grow, to expand. So spend it, all of it, every month, but only from this jar. You're 6. This one touches the heart. No matter how much or how little you have, give to charity, to a friend in need, to a cause you believe in. Giving teaches abundance. It reminds you that there's always enough. It also breaks the grip of fear and scarcity. Because when you give freely, you affirm that money flows, that you are not a victim of lack, but a channel of prosperity. Now listen closely. This system works no matter how much money you make. People say, I'll do it when I make more. No, you start now. Even if it's just $1 in each jar, you're building habits, you're training your mind, you're telling the universe, I respect money, I know how to manage it, I'm ready for more. And when you manage what you have, more will come. Now let's take this one step further. Because if you want lasting wealth, managing money is just part of the equation. You also have to create multiple streams of income. Why? Because one income stream is never enough. If your only income comes from your job and that job disappears, what happens? Stress, panic, scrambling for survival. Wealthy people protect themselves by creating diversity. They don't rely on one source. They build income from different places. Think of it like a table. If your table has one leg, it's unstable. 2 legs, still shaky. But 4, 5, 6 legs, solid. So what are some streams you can build? Start with your main income, your job or business. Then ask, can I create something on the side? Maybe it's freelancing, consulting, selling products, digital courses, affiliate marketing. What about investing? Stocks, real estate, index funds, dividends? Maybe write a book, start a blog, launch a YouTube channel. Whatever it is, start small, but start smart. Use your time wisely. Use your education jar to learn the skills you need. Every new stream is a step toward freedom. And here's something else most people overlook. Your environment. You can have the best strategy in the world, but if you're surrounded by people who think small, who complain, who make excuses, it drags you down. Your success is a reflection of the people around you. So take a hard look at your circle. Did they lift you up or pull you down? Do they talk about ideas or gossip? Do they support your goals or roll their eyes? You don't have to cut everyone off, but you do need to prioritize time with people who are going where you want to go. Join masterminds, attend seminars, follow mentors online, get around winners, because success is contagious. The more you're exposed to it, the more normal it becomes. And when success becomes normal, wealth becomes inevitable. So remember, mastering money isn't about luck. It's not about working harder. It's about thinking differently, managing wisely, earning smart, and surrounding yourself with excellence. This isn't just a game of money. It's a game of mindset. And you're either playing to win or playing to stay broke. Let me ask you something real, something powerful. If you stopped learning today, where would that leave you 10 years from now? I'll tell you exactly where you are today, maybe even worse. Because the world is moving fast. Money is evolving, business is changing, opportunities come and go like waves, and if you're not growing, you're shrinking. That's why one of the greatest secrets of the Millionaire Mind is this: the rich are relentless learners. They never stop. They're always reading, listening, observing, investing in themselves. Why? Because they understand one thing most people don't. Your income can only grow to the extent that you do. If you want more money, you need to become more valuable. You have to develop your mind, your skills, your emotional intelligence, your financial IQ. And that doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. So let me ask you, what did you learn today, this week, this month? Because wealthy people don't just stumble into success. They prepare for it. They study it. They become it. And when I say study, I don't just mean college or degrees. I'm talking real world learning, books, seminars, coaching, podcasts, mentorship. Every single day, feeding your mind with powerful information that shifts the way you think, act, and operate. And here's what's crazy. Most of it's free or nearly free. You've got access to more knowledge than any generation before you. There's no excuse. You could be listening to audiobooks during your commute, watching masterclasses while you work out, reading a chapter before bed. And the compound effect of that learning, it's massive. One new idea could change your business. One insight could double your income. One shift in mindset could open doors you never even saw before. That's what happened to me. Before I became a millionaire, I was a student of wealth. I devoured every book I could find. I studied the habits of the rich. I invested money I didn't even have into learning from the best. And every time I did, I grew. Every time I grew, my results changed. It's not magic. It's cause and effect. And let me be very clear. Wealthy people make learning a habit. They schedule it, prioritize it, budget for it. Remember the 6 Jaws system? 10% goes to education. Why? Because it's not an expense, it's an investment. And it might be the best one you ever make. Because while markets go up and down, the skills you develop and the wisdom you gain can never be taken from you. And here's the best part. The more you learn, the more confident you become. Confident to make smart money decisions. Confident to take risks. Confident to lead, sell, build, invest. Confidence doesn't come from guessing. It comes from knowing. And knowing comes from learning. But, and this is crucial, learning is only the first half of the equation. Because here's the truth that most people don't want to hear. Knowledge without action is useless. You can read every wealth book on the planet, watch every video, attend every seminar, but if you don't act on what you learn, nothing changes. Information doesn't create transformation, application does. You got to do something. You got to move, you got to risk, you got to take bold, uncomfortable, consistent action. That's the bridge between your dreams and your reality.
Most people are waiting for the right time, the right opportunity, the perfect moment.
Let me tell you something, that moment doesn't exist. The right time is now. Success doesn't reward the smartest, it rewards the most courageous, the most committed, the ones who stop talking about it and start doing something about it. You don't have to know everything to begin, you just need to start. Take one step, open that investment account, launch that side business, read that book, make that phone call, sign up for that course. Whatever it is, do it now. Action builds momentum. Momentum builds confidence. And confidence creates results. But here's what stops most people. Fear. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear of not being good enough. Let me tell you, everyone feels that. Even the rich. Even the successful. The difference is, they act anyway. They feel the fear and move forward. They use fear as fuel. Because they know that sitting still, waiting for fear to go away, only leads to regret. You've got to jump. Trust your wings on the way down. And look, I'm not saying you won't fail. You will. But failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. It's how you learn, how you grow, how you earn your stripe. So fail fast, fail forward, fail with purpose.
Just don't let fear paralyze you.
Because every great success story starts the same way, with someone who decided to act. Someone who got tired of excuses. Someone who said enough waiting, enough talking, let's go. And that someone can be, is you got what it takes, you're smart enough, capable enough, worthy enough, but nothing happens until you move. So commit to learning, yes, but even more, commit to doing, because the person who takes action, even imperfect action, will always outperform the person who just sits and studies. Don't just be a student of wealth, be a creator of it. Read the book and apply it. Watch the video and take the step. Attend the seminar and follow through, because that's where the magic is, not in the knowledge, but in the execution. And that's how millionaires are made, not by luck, not by chance. By learning relentlessly and acting fearlessly over and over again. That's the game. That's the path. That's the power. And it's in your hands right now. So let's bring it all together. You've just unlocked some of the most powerful truths from Secrets of the Millionaire Mind principles that have transformed ordinary people into extraordinary success stories. We talked about your money blueprint, how your early beliefs shape your financial reality. We uncovered the need to take full responsibility for your life, shifting from victim to creator. We explored the 17 wealth files, the mindset differences between the rich and the poor. We tapped into the power of thinking big and how big goals create big results. You learned the 6 Jaws system, a simple, practical way to manage your money like the wealthy do. We dove into the importance of multiple income streams, the value of your social circle, and why continuous learning is your secret weapon. And finally, we landed on the most critical piece, action. because without it, none of this matters. These aren't just ideas, they're tools. Tools you can use starting today to rewire your mind and reshape your future. Remember, success isn't a matter of luck. It's a matter of mindset, commitment, and consistent action. If you're ready to live rich in every sense of the word, it all starts with you. So take that first step. Start managing your money differently. Think bigger. Surround yourself with winners. Learn, grow, and most importantly, act. If this video lit a spark in you, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to THarvEker Motivation for more powerful insights to help you design a life of freedom, wealth, and purpose. Until next time, live with intention and think rich to get rich.